Meanwhile, in Madrid, Real Madrid midfielder Toni Kroos has come out in support of the European Super League. He said the idea of the Super League has changed and deserves to be heard. You will see that UEFA is by no means a great Samaritan for football fans. Why is it okay for UEFA to introduce a Nations League that no one needs? Suddenly, no one asks them about it. Now, Gemma, in England, the idea of the Super League is definitely not everybody's favourite. Let me continue with what he said. He said, we've already talked about a loss of passion for football. I believe that the Super League has the opportunity to reverse that situation. Many people always say, who wants to see Real Madrid against Manchester City every week? But have you gotten tired of watching Federer against Nadal over and over again? I don't. That's my opinion. The Super League, the idea of it didn't go well in England, the idea of that with the fans, Gemma. What's the reaction been in Spain to the Super League?
Well, it's quite polarized and it's controversial because I think almost anyone except Florentino Perez and Joan Laporta liked it at the beginning because that thing was presented really in a strange way in a show, a night show, kind of yellowish like El Chiringuito by his promoter Florentino Perez, and it didn't have much sense. It was not clear. It was a closed competition. There was no sportsmanship there, and it was unpopular. Now it's starting to change, and I think probably Florentino Perez convinced one of his players, Toni Kroos. It's true that probably we talk about Nations League, that future FIFA World Cup clubs with 32 teams. Maybe the players are right that they need to sit and talk and revisit all the sports, the football calendar and how it works, and some competitions that maybe are unnecessary and need to be a different formula. So I think it is that what Toni Kroos is saying that they might think about a different kind of competition. But if you think a Nadal Federer every day, we have fun watching sometimes underdogs beat top teams. So I understand that players need to rethink about this actual modern football, and I can understand what Toni Kroos is saying. But here in Spain, there's a lot of different opinions talking about Superliga. It's always controversial because we really don't understand yet what it's gonna be, this new competition.
I think Kevin De Bruyne hasn't said as such, but Kevin De Bruyne in the past has talked about a lack of interest in talking to the players or players' unions about, come on, there's
anything.
Anything. There's already a lot of games, and you're just adding to games sometimes. At some point, it has to stop. I'm no apologist for UEFA. I couldn't give a stuff. However, the Nations League, to be fair, was brought in to overhaul the international friendly calendar, which was was in its own grave. Right? Nobody was interested in the friendlies. So the Nations League was introduced in that calendar spot. But there are other games in terms of, increasing World Cups, increasing Champions League and changing formats. There are other things that are, I think, a bugbear of a lot of players. But yeah, I think particularly from De Bruyne's perspective, maybe not so much from Toni Kroos, it's about listening to the senior players, the guys with all the experience at playing all the comps, and say, what's the best way forward? Because just adding games all the time isn't going to help, is it?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.